Pearson Rabbit's story begins with Dr. Stephanie Pearson, a passionate OBGYN at the height of her career. When a shoulder injury struck during a precipitous delivery, her dreams were shattered, leaving her unable to practice medicine. Determined to make a difference, Stephanie became an advocate for her peers, guiding them through the complex disability process. Alongside insurance expert Scott Ravitz, Stephanie founded Pearson Ravitz, a company determined to approach insurance differently. Together, they set their mission to educate and empower physicians to protect their most valuable asset, their income, and the most important people in their life, their family. Today, Pearson Ravitz serves the medical community in all 50 states. At Pearson Ravitz, they understand the unique concerns of physicians. Physician-founded and physician-focused, Pearson Ravitz builds human connections before they create quotes. Life can change in an instant. It's hard to imagine that a sudden illness or injury could leave you and your family in a devastating financial situation. But with a little planning and guidance, you can prepare for every possibility. Visit PearsonRavitz.com today to schedule your consultation with a Pearson Ravitz advisor.
Finally, a source of raw, real, and honest information on healthcare issues that matter most. Welcome to BS Free MD. From the latest medical information to how to stay sane as a doctor or a patient, no subject is taboo, no BS is allowed. Now, let's welcome your hosts, Doctors May and Tim Hindmarsh.
Thanks for joining us where we have fun interacting with our audience, answering questions, and, just sharing the lighter side of BS Free MD. So guess where we are? We're back in our studio. Last week, we were coming to you live from Viva Las Vegas. And so tonight, what we're going to talk to you a little bit about is a little bit of the experience on our Vegas trip and some of the craziness that we saw, as well as birthday celebration and some trivia fun and for Tim, where he gets to answer some questions for us, as well as update I thought I would share with you just on my health stuff since everybody's asking. And I was at the doctor today. So that'd be fun.
How did that go?
And yeah, we don't even know because we haven't seen each other just till now. That plus Tim wants to do the in the news with a story about measles. I don't know if it's going to be funny or serious, but we'll bring that if we can.
It's just wild.
It's just wild. So that's what we're talking about tonight, as well as our cocktail of the week. So hang on for the fun ride, and Tim and I will catch up on the day because we really literally just sat down together now. So yeah, here we go. All right. On the show tonight, we already have our favorite family friend. She's finally flipped here. Thanks for joining us. V. That's all I'll say. I'll call her V. It's her new nickname. Queen V. We actually traveled with our friends this week to Nevada, as I call it.
Nevada.
And Arizona. And got to go to the hometown of our friend in Mojave Valley.
Or Arizona.
It is if those who are sophisticated say Nevada.
Yeah, whatever.
All right.
But that is true. That is true, though. Like if somebody has the British accent, they just automatically sound smarter, even though they could be completely stupid. If you give somebody a Southern redneck accent, then somehow they sound dumb. It doesn't make sense. There was that guy.
Are you calling Southern rednecks dumb?
No, I'm just saying that people associate different accents with like intelligence, and it doesn't make sense. Like what's a Canadian accent sound like? I guess just drunk.
Pretty much. Or like,
I guess it's not even funny because maybe
mostly
it's stupid.
Mostly stupid.
But it's true. Like you hear a foreign accent, and there's some that make you feel that like you go, well, they must be smarter. There was that guy, Dr. Red Duke or something like that, or I can't remember who did these, for ABC or something, medical segments, and he had the Southern accent. You're like, I don't know if I should take medical advice from that guy.
Yeah. It isn't that funny how we stereotype people?
Well, it's prejudice. We prejudice them based on their accent. Yeah. It's honest to goodness truth.
Well, she's finally flipped. It's going to have to let us know what she's doing right now. Probably, let me guess. She's probably in the pool with her beer, and it's 105 there while she's watching the show. Don't get electrocuted as you watch. Can you get electrocuted if you're holding your iPhone or iPad in a pool? even though there's
No, but
EMF waves?
No, but if she was holding an iPad and a blow dryer, it might spice things up a
I
little.
don't know if she uses a blow dryer. I'm thinking not.
Well, just,
Anyway. All right. Let's get this pre-birthday show on the road. How was your day today, by the way?
It was
I heard
fine.
you scaled a metal fence on the way home and hurt your nuts.
I did.
So
So there's all these tents. We live very close to a high school, and there's a high school
tents because that tells you about the state of the union here.
No, it doesn't. It tells you about the state of the year. So there's a big field they use for different sports next to the high school, and I was crossing the field because it's a shortcut, and they have all these tents in there because it's a camp out area for fire training for all the forest firefighter people. So then they locked the gates from there to the Boys and Girls Club because I guess they didn't want children wandering into the tent area. So I had to climb the fence. So I climbed the fence.
Just like when you were 12 and were
right.
escaping from trouble.
Correct.
Did you remember how?
I did. It was no problem. I got over the fence, everything's cool. And then I flipped over and I crushed my left nut.
You flipped over?
Flipped over the fence.
Did you?
And when I went to go over the fence, I annihilated my left testy.
Ooh, so we heard a good story from a friend this week when we were all sharing stories about he climbed a fence and his shoe got caught on the top, but you lost a testicle instead of just a shoe. So I guess you won.
But I didn't drop my glasses because otherwise it would have been
when you're that's a sign that you're old when you don't care about your testicle getting ruptured on a fence.
Well, I have
but
very
your glasses
fancy,
for reading are critical.
I have very fancy sunglasses and I didn't want it to be a testicle spectacle.
Oh my gosh.
That would have been really bad. I haven't even
had a sip of my cocktail really, and
a testicle
you already
spectacle.
Got me cracking up.
Yes.
It's always a testicle spectacle when you're over 50.
Tonight on Why Old People Don't Do B&Es.
It's always
a testicle spectacle.
It's always a testicle.
Film at 11.
Anyway. All right, enough of that. All right, you've got some fun video in the hopper. We're going to talk about our trip to. So we did go to Vegas. We didn't get into trouble, meaning Tim did not get to buy another car at the Barrett-Jackson auction because he's got enough currently in the garage and a project. And I didn't get to buy my dream car. Do you know what my dream car is, Tim?
Well, your dream car is an Aston Martin, whichever one is the most expensive.
Yeah, and I saw my dream car again this year. Beautiful burgundy red.
For the low price of 107. No, I think it was over 200 grand. I think. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Might have been 150. Anyways, it was way more money than we
slipped out of my reach. So we didn't get into that trouble. We got to watch trouble happening. It was very fun. And we got to, I guess, see all kinds of ridiculousness with regards to food, health, candy, and so forth. So the first is the Heart Attack Grill on Fremont Experience. So Fremont Experience, we'd never been to Fremont. We've been to Vegas like 13 plus times before.
You haven't ever been to
Okay.
Fremont. I have.
I stand corrected.
I statements.
I can only speak for myself. I'd never been to Fremont before. And yeah, it was, I don't even know how to explain it. It's an eye-opening experience. So all kinds of fun things. There was bands. There was a lot of naked skin, some entertainment.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was naked skin that was much more like going to work than it was going to anything.
It was. That's what I said. I said, this is like going to work.
Yeah, it was not good.
And,
but check this out.
And a lot of interesting restaurants,
yes,
including this one. So that is the Heart Attack Grill, where if you're over 350 pounds, you get to eat in the free hamburger challenge. So I looked it up. There was a news article or an episode on one of those it wasn't Dateline. I can't remember the name of it. I'll have to check it out. The YouTube video. I have a link that I can post, but it was something like Dateline or one of those news forums where they featured, and they did this 7 years ago, and there was one in, I think it's somewhere south of Phoenix. One of those. They have the same store or restaurant there. So they show the owner of this restaurant. He dresses up in a lab coat, and he pretends to be a doctor. And then the waitresses in this place are all dressed in sexy nursemaid costumes. You get to weigh when you get in. If you're over 350 pounds, you get to eat for free. But they have this menu of burgers that are laden with calories. There's quadruple burgers. They have milkshakes that are made from buttermilk fat, fries. I forget what they fry them in.
But
the burgers are, the biggest one is 9,998 calories. They call it heart attack on a plate. They put you, when you go in there, into a medical gown to eat. And they actually have had people have heart attacks eating in there. There's a clip, and they're interviewing this one guy. And basically the owner plays to the whole fact that he says, junk food is junk food. People go to McDonald's and Burger King and Taco Bell and Dairy Queen and eat all this crap anyway. He plays it up. And I hope that nobody that's in there really does have a medical emergency when they're there, but it's just extreme.
What I found fascinating.
So they're like, if you like being fat, you like being unhealthy, you want a heart attack on a plate, we'll give it to you.
No, if they were going to have they should have the plant. We should start the plants are going to kill you vegan restaurant. And if you're emaciated, pale, and underweight, and have a BMI of 18, you eat for free. That would be awesome.
Anyway, we didn't get to go in. We just saw it at night. But if you look up Heart Attack Grill online, especially on YouTube, it's kind of funny.
The interesting thing is that, like, they fry the fries in lard, which is a million times better than frying them in seed oils.
Oh, that's true.
So that's actually better for you. The problem is that when you combine super high fat, high calories with high carbs, you have a absolutely dangerous situation. If all you had was the fat,
it's like refried beans.
Yeah. If all you had was the fat and the protein, it would be fine. It would be the keto grill. I mean, it was just really fascinating how we assume everything's bad.
Okay. So speaking of the keto grill, we don't have a picture of that, but we did get to eat at the Brazilian, is it a Brazilian steakhouse? Did they call it that?
Yeah, Brazilian steakhouse.
Pampa's a Brazilian steakhouse. Oh my goodness. It was so good. We were laughing so hard. At least I was laughing so hard.
I think our son ate 4 pounds of meat.
Right. So you go there, they tell you that you can go to the, if you get the Brazilian steakhouse buffet, which we did, you get all you can eat meat. They come around with all these meats, like on shish kebab style. They skewer them off and put them on your plate. They tell you not to eat too much from the all you can eat salad. It's not just salad bar. They have refried beans and rice and soup and scalloped potatoes and different salads and antipasti, etc. So you don't want to take very much if you like meat, because you could just eat continuously. They have sausage and lamb and chicken and beef and steak and every kind of beef you could imagine. And they just kept coming and coming. And our son, I thought, was going to explode. It was pretty funny, but it was very good. It was a carnivore heaven. Anyway, so you must go there. That was in the Planet. It was the Miracle Mile shops at Planet Hollywood. So you saw some nuts for sale. Is that right, Tim? Are you going to show that video?
Yes.
Talking about.
Well, it's strange. Like people will do really interesting things for employment. And there's all these people all over Vegas that
selling nuts.
That get a picture taken with the smoking hot flowered showgirls, but the feather girl, but they tend to, lots of them, sorry, they're not that hot. So this one guy is like probably graduated with a PhD from Harvard, and he decided to do this job here. So for, I don't know, probably somewhere between $20 and $40, you can kick him in the nuts.
Well, man, if you have a bad day at work, that would just feel really.
For me, it would just be a chain link fence.
You don't need to pay anybody.
It's free.
It's free if you climb the fence. So that was really weird watching him. And guess what? We saw nobody. up for
I
the
know,
challenge
it's
while we were there.
entirely-
I was hoping you or Dave were going to do it, but you guys are too nice. You're Christian boys and you're not going to kick anybody in the nuts. Can't kick a man. And he was small too, like shorter than you and not tall. I mean, so still.
Shorter than me would definitely be not tall.
That's true. Well, I think you should show what we found was the number. It's not the number one. It is the number one cereal bar in the world called
It's
Killers Cereal.
So no, serial killers. It's probably
yes.
the only
Serial killers.
cereal bar in the world because cereal is stupid.
Well, check this out. Wow. Want some cereal? That's incredible. Gonna eat some cereal?
No, cereal is nutritional pornography. It will kill you faster than anything.
I was literally going to buy a box of Captain Crunch. That was my preferred cereal choice as a kid. That and Fruit Loops. How about yours?
You need Cap'n
Crunch.
No, mine was probably Fruit Loops.
Yeah, I like Fruit Loops
in
too.
the actual like crap section.
I like Fruit
But
Loops or Cap'n.
I didn't get to buy that. We never really I'd go to the cereal aisle and it was just like
Too bad.
no.
We
Did you get the cereal
We had to have.
and then pour it into a bowl to get the little whatever it was in there?
Nah, I dug my hand right to the bottom
And
every
then-
time
and
we
then
got home.
Tried to pour it back in the box. It was kind of like when I was delivering babies. It's like they come out and it's like you're not putting it back in.
I just stuck my hand
Doesn't
in
work.
the bottom and pulled it out. All
No
sugary.
workage.
and licked it all off. And then the box kind of got deformed
Yeah,
and
the
fat.
box
And
did.
my sister would get mad. No. So Cereal Killers apparently is equipped with over 100 cereals from around the world. They have dairy and non-dairy milk options, if that's really what you're worried about at this point. Multiple toppings.
Freaking oat milk with a
And you can mix up your perfect cereal bowl. They say you can have a cereal bun, a waffle, ice cream or milkshake of your dreams as well. Not just cereal bowl. They have everything. You can put Nutella on it, fresh fruit. Well, at this point, why not the fruit, right? Pop-Tarts and ice cream. That sounds
yeah.
pretty
But who
good.
hasn't done Pop-Tarts and ice cream? That's not exactly
I've never done Pop-Tarts and ice cream.
really.
No,
Really?
really.
Oh, that just seems weird.
Maybe.
I used to like to drink milk when I ate chips, like plain chips. I was like, man, that's a really cool flavor combination. So one time I'm like, why don't I just make the chips the cereal and pour the milk on the chips? Ended terribly.
I have a great story about that.
Ended absolutely.
And you
it was
know
just
this
like
one.
soggy crap.
Okay, so you know this story, but I have to tell it. Since we're on this topic, anybody know what Teddy Grahams are? Is that a thing in the U.S.? Teddy Grahams, if you're exotic and British like me. Teddy Grahams are these tiny little. They're like goldfish, only they're little teddy bears in a box, and the same size of a goldfish box. There's different flavors. There's cinnamon bear and chocolate bear and plain Graham bear. Okay, so I went home to I was in Canada. I went home, mom and dad's place. It was Christmas or something. And I had this, I don't think I bought them. Maybe I did. Doesn't really matter. So I wake up in the morning at noon, like 11:59, oh, okay. They are American because we're getting comments. So I come out of my bat cave from downstairs. I get up. My dad, Bob, happy birthday, Bob, as we'll call him, is sitting there, drinking a cup of coffee. He's already gotten up at 5, got in his airplane, flown 500 miles north and went ice fishing for the morning, caught a couple for dinner. Like, this is for real. Come home and is now sitting there ready to have lunch and says to me, man, that cereal this morning, that was really crumbly. I'm like, what cereal? What are you talking about? He goes, that new I did buy it because he said that new cereal you bought, those teddy bears, like I had to eat a whole box to get like full, and they just crumbled apart in the milk. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Dad just ate a whole box of Teddy Grahams with milk for breakfast. No wonder he made it there and back and had energy to burn. Anyway.
But they weren't Teddy Grahams. They were graham crackers in the shape of teddy bears. They weren't cereal. That's why they disintegrated and you had to eat the entire box. Yeah. The first clue should have been the box was like 4 by 6 inches. Not like a cereal box.
So if you know Teddy Grahams, my dad ate a whole box for breakfast. It's probably the same as cereal. probably the same nutritional value.
Yes,
It's cookies.
And if you
It's
remember,
cookies. Cookies and milk.
from Christmas Vacation, what did Chevy Chase do to get his bonus, which was Jam of the Month Club, and it was supposed to be enough to make his pool? Is he came up with a brand new cereal varnish.
He did? I don't remember that.
Yes, he came up with the cereal.
I thought he got the Fruit of the Month Club or something.
Yeah, well, Fruit of the Month Club or whatever. Yeah, he came up with he was like, he thought he was going to get the big bonus because he built the new cereal varnish. And when you see Teddy Grahams compared to the graham cracker teddy bears, they're cereal varnish.
Oh yes. I would say that Frosted Flakes are covered in varnish. Did you ever eat Frosted Flakes?
Oh yeah.
My grandmother had Frosted Flakes, regular corn flakes.
They're great.
And yeah, they're covered in varnish. So you don't have a picture of the candy store, but we went in. We were walking down the strip, and this candy store, it's called ITSUGAR. It's all one word. It's not the biggest one in the world. There's a couple. There's multiple candy stores, but I must say we had fun. I took some photos. It's hard to show photos on here. It doesn't show as well as video, so we didn't put it up, but they had everything from Pusheen candy, Hello Kitty. They had giant gummy bears, bins of everything that you would want. I got my favorite, which is licorice all sorts. That's those round
and
ones,
strangely,
and the ones that look like sandwiches.
Strangely, at the like, you know how when you go to the supermarket and at the desk, there's always the things you forget. You know, there's that happy National Enquirer and beef jerky, and so you're tempted to buy some more things. There, when you check out, they're like, you bought $50 worth of candy and you get a free vial of insulin.
Yeah, I didn't get my insulin. I guess I thought we were
free vial of insulin.
So we went to that candy store after we stuffed ourselves disgustingly full at the Papa
meat.
With meat. That's a good combination.
That was great.
So we had a lot of pictures, and I have pictures from there.
But, no, I could put pictures
but they don't post
but because I was
on
working,
the StreamYard.
No, I have to produce them into a PowerPoint and convert them into a PDF file. It's technical, and I did not have the time.
Here you go. Here's a reason to sign up for our newsletter. We'll share them in the newsletter next week. So Queen D will get those. And for those of you who want to see the biggest Pusheen and Gummy Bear, sign up.
bsfreemd.com and sign up.
That was fun. We had a good time on Fremont. We got to see people zip lining over our heads, and some of them get stuck. Some cover bands that were kind of fun. People in wedding dresses, people dancing on tables. That was my previous job in another life. And maybe I'll sign up for Sturgis again this year. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, I've danced on tables just with my clothes on. That's enough of that.
Wow. I almost need a refill.
Okay. So cheers. Let's cut to our drink of the week since it's almost halfway past the hour here. This is any guesses? It's purple, and it's probably not Tim's favorite because that would be something else for his birthday. So I chose. And what we're having is something from Oregon called Heritage Distilling Company, and they have this lavender vodka that I'm holding up for those of you watching, and of course, it says gluten-free. I think we talked about that before.
It's liquor.
Every vodka becomes gluten-free.
It's liquor.
So Heritage Distilling Company makes all kinds of spirits, and they have things called Cocoa Bomb chocolate whiskey. I'll have to look for that. The Elk Rider series. They have 20 naturally flavored vodkas and batch number 12 line of spirits. They have 5 stores, and there's one in Eugene close to us, so maybe we will have to go check it out. So apparently they're the most awarded craft distillery in North America from the American Distilling Institute. They won awards from 2014 all the way through to 2022. They make vodka, gin, and whiskey, and they have the tasting rooms, like I said, Washington and Oregon, including Gig Harbor, Roslyn, and Tumwater if you're close, and in Washington and Eugene, Madison, and Eugene 5th Street in Oregon. That's what it says. So we'll have to go down to 5th Street and try the other spirits. So this is the lavender vodka. It has apparently a subtle floral fragrance with undertones of vanilla, mint, and woody notes. And apparently,
Woody notes.
what we're drinking, because I had to improvise, is called the Floral Collins. So you put 1.5 ounces of lemonade with 2 ounces of lavender vodka, an ounce of club soda, and garnish with a cherry. Cheers. So since the other thing that works pretty good is if you have
I'm gonna pop my cherry.
if you have lemonade flavored soda water, which is what I had to do because we didn't have lemonade in the house. I used LaCroix lemonade flavored, limoncello flavored, but we did have the cherries from your whiskey sours or cherry sours.
No, Manhattans. Manhattans
there you
require
go.
cherries.
I'm a terrible bartender.
You could put a cherry in it. Yeah, you put a cherry in a whiskey sour.
So I think we should go visit them and see if they would like to sponsor our show again.
Would you like to pay for us to talk about your stuff, or would you like to pay us to not talk about your stuff?
Yeah.
Either way, we accept all forms of payment.
And very good price point. So that's all I'll say.
Cool.
That's what we're drinking today. So I like the taste of it. It's very sweet. I would not drink that straight out of the bottle. I tried it. It's too sweet for me. It is like a syrupy type thing, and you want to cut this with something. So we are actually drinking a cocktail today. Imagine that. So it has no artificial flavors or sweeteners, just to let you know. Yeah. All righty. So do you want to talk about your measles update, or can we just get to celebrating your birthday?
Well, I'll that's this. I can do it in like a minute. So this woman had multiple myeloma, which is a really bad bone marrow blood cancer. They tried to treat her with everything, all the different chemos, everything they could think of. She had, I believe, 2 bone marrow transplants. So this is like absolute Hail Mary treatment. And then they tried something different. They gave her attenuated measles vaccine. So massive doses.
Whoa, stop. I have to stop you. So this lady has lymphoma.
Mm-hmm. And they treated her with measles.
And why did they decide to give her a measles? Just because she was out of date on her vaccines? Or was this a strategic plan?
No. It's an actual type of chemotherapy where you use other viruses to treat the cancer.
Is this ongoing?
So there's a certain
to our listeners.
There's a certain receptor that measles uses to attach to cells to infect them. So if your cell has this receptor, that's how measles gets into your body and then like replicates and you get measles. Cancer cells, apparently, or certain kinds of cancer cells have way more of these receptors. So intuitively, they're like, well, what if we give them measles and it will disproportionately go to the cancer cells because it has way more of this receptor and it will kill the cells, which it will because the virus kills the cells and then that's how it replicates. And that's why you get sick. And then they put her cancer into remission with giving her the equivalent dose, wait for it, of 10 million measles vaccines.
Whoa.
And her multiple myeloma went in to remission, and now she's autistic. No, I just made that up. I made that up. Get off my back. I want
our favorite friend in the microbiome world, Dr. Hazen, to have tested her shit before and after getting that massive dose of vaccine.
The alternative. Okay, so if she has no bifidobacteria and her and she needs a stool transplant, probably worth the stool transplant to not being alive, because that was the alternative. She had run out of all therapies. So it's really fascinating. Plus, it's very interesting because if you read or listen to Dr. Peter Abbe from, I believe, Denmark, and his wife, Christine Sable-Ben, they have done extensive research on vaccines in Guinea-Bissau. And what they found is the live measles vaccine not only causes children not to die of measles, it causes a significant decrease of them dying from anything. It decreases all-cause mortality. So
we should all line up for another round of measles vaccine?
No, because the measles vaccine we use in the United States is attenuated. It's not live. And they didn't find that with the attenuated vaccine. They found it with the live vaccine. So it's very, very interesting.
Did you get the attenuated or live when you were a kid? Do you remember? I know we had live polio.
Because it was 3,000 years ago. So
I did get actual measles, all of them. So
you got German measles?
I did.
Like actual German measles?
I did.
Well, good thing that kids are normal.
I also had the mumps.
I guess it would be normal. You had it, then you had immunity, and you couldn't get it while you were pregnant. So that was the good news. So
anyways, that's there. We actually did some medical thing for you guys.
A medical thing. We did a medical thing. Well, we did a medical thing, and we ended up with 2 kids. So that's another thing too. So yeah. All right. All right. And then next, I need some presents.
We could get to the medical thing we did after the kids, and that story. That's
we've actually told that story. We shall tell it again someday.
Yes.
Going 2 days, 3 days after vasectomy, going for a 4-mile run. Ill-advised.
Mm-hmm.
Very ill-advised.
And if you're not sure why, give it a try. Yeah.
This episode is just filled with nuts.
Filled with nuts.
Brimming. It's like an orchard of filberts.
Well, I wanted to segue into I thought I would just do a little, forget your nuts. We'll talk about my health problems. Share a little update because I was at the doctor's office today. Would you like to hear what happened?
Yeah, I would. I'd love to hear.
So I think enough people that follow us know about my elbow surgery. I'm wearing my blonde, summer-colored compression sleeve today because it's hot out. But I saw my orthopedist to have my follow-up for my April surgery on my elbow to go over how things were going. In case you don't know what we're talking about, I had a 3-year bout of a chronic golfer's elbow brought on by whacking the golf club into the ground at the beginning of COVID, creating a chronic golfer's elbow and a ulnar nerve compression, a tendinopathy and tendinitis, and a nice bunion on my elbow, plus nerve compression that went all the way up to my shoulder, and it turned into neuropathy that was hellish. Anyway, I had a release done on the tendons, freed up and loosened, the bone shaved down, the ulnar nerve released, and he really wanted me to just lay low because I have, they say I have lupus. I don't believe it. Might be some kind of thing. But anyway, I get tendinitis always on the right side of my body. And I was scared of it recurring if I tried to get back to the gym or do things too soon. And I really listened to my body this time because it was telling me, yeah, you can't do that. So I pretty much only picked up a coffee cup, a grocery bag, and a martini glass. Can't even really do a plank yet, but it's getting better. The numbness is getting better in my elbow. The bone pain is getting better. It's every day. It feels a little, I wouldn't say every day. That's not true. Every 4 to 5 days.
So what did he say?
Better. And he said, I'm healing along a normal plan, timeline, that it could take up to a year. At 6 months, I should notice it being a little bit better, but to go ahead and test it out with weights, like 5-pound weights, which is girly weights to me, but to give it a go, just
time for some supersets in the gym.
Yeah. Planks on my elbows instead of my flat hands. Anyway, just gradually use my own guidelines and listen to my body. If it gets too crazy, not do it. So that's good news. He said at this point, I'm not going to rip or tear anything because I guess he did free up the tendons more than I thought. And he said they're healed enough. And so he's done all he can do. We'll see if I have mostly a normal arm after this. Will I ever go golfing again? I have not decided. TBD.
Yeah, just don't suck at
it. TBD. Well, I suck at golfing.
Well, everyone sucks at golfing. Yeah, even professional golfers at times suck at golf.
So my problem was I played girls fast pitch, and so I want to whack the ball like a fast pitch. And apparently not so good. Anyway, negative. So that's the update on that. And my hip, well, it's slowly getting better and then worse. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I guess my iliopsoas tendon is inflamed. Another boring story. And I'm going in next week to have an ultrasound. Actually, I don't know if they're going to do ultrasound guided or CT guided injection of the iliopsoas tendon, which is deep in the pelvis and runs from your hip bone, your hip, across into your groin, and it flexes your leg and twists it out to the side. So it does that movement.
It makes your leg open.
It makes
to the
you
side.
be able to get in and out of a car.
Makes your leg open to the side. Well, they better fix that.
It flexes it up and rotates it out.
That's a pretty important movement.
Like getting in and out of cars, right, Tim?
Right.
That's what you're thinking.
Yeah, we like
cars. You like
right.
cars. That's what you're thinking. So mine is really unhappy. And now I get to have it injected. So a hip replacement can do that. It's a complication of a hip replacement. If there's a complication, I will have it. So I'll let you know how that goes. I'll see if I can take any video, but they probably won't let me.
Oh, video. Yep. That's
all right. So thanks for praying for me and thinking of me. And I'll keep you posted. Okay. On to the party. First off, we have to have an unboxing. I got Tim a little present in a man bag colored, chevron pattern here. And so
what did we get?
I thought I would get him a little present that you all could see.
Oh.
One for me and one for him. So
Aladdin.
This we will try out next week. It is sake. So I thought it would be kind of fun because he enjoys sake from time to time. And I found these cute little Aladdin shaped bottles. One is
Frick is this one?
Sake that's typical. I have to look at the name of it, but one's cloudy, and I like the cloudy sake because
did you read where this is from?
No.
Fukushima. Fukushima. It's cloudy because it's been like irradiated by the nuclear power plant that ate crap.
Well, we'll see how we look after we drink this. So one's clear. He likes prefer the clear.
I don't know what the cloudy
I've tasted PF Chang's. They have the best cloudy sake, and it's really yummy. So this is for next week. Happy birthday, Tim. There you go.
All right. Little cloudy sake.
All right. June 29th. Guess what day this is in history, Tim? You're a trivia guy, so I'm going to put you to the test with some trivia to celebrate your birthday and some questions to answer for our listeners. Oops. No thoughts? Don't know what day it is in history, June 29th?
Not really. I mean, it's the middle of the year, so what is it, like the 179th day or something like that?
It's 180th day on the Gregorian calendar, and on this day, Shakespeare's Globe Theatre in London, England, burns to the ground during a performance of Henry the Seventh or Eighth or something. That's sad. South Africa begins implementing apartheid.
Wow.
And Civil Rights Act of 1964 is passed in the U.S. Senate.
Well, isn't that interesting? Yeah. Civil rights on one side of the country and not so civil rights on the other.
All right. Whose birthday is shared with you? Do you know?
Rick Dancer.
Rick Dancer. That's all that matters. Anybody else? So we have Benito Mussolini. There you go.
Wow. We got a real freedom fest going on here.
Total power trio.
Yes.
But the other power trio birthday would be Geddy Lee.
Yes. Canada's greatest power trio, although there is a debate with Triumph. I won't get into that right now.
I had to dig for Geddy Lee. I found all these pop stars and YouTubers and TikTokers, and Mitch would know who these people are, but I'm like, who are these people? This is boring. I had to really dig deep to find a commonality with you that you would get. Josh Radnor. He's an actor.
Yeah.
Some of y'all, do you shout out on here if you know who Josh Radnor is? And Martina McBride. Yay. That's for my dad and people who like country.
Let freedom ring.
For the younger crowd, Lindsay Lohan's birthday is June 29th. And no comment from you, Robert Downey Jr.
Wow. Sounds like it's kind of a rehab fest.
It does. Because you're all cancers.
It's a festival of rehab.
There's the common theme.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Geddy Lee. Yeah. That's that one.
Okay. We're going to, let's see. I want you to answer some questions and then it's trivia time.
Okay.
Okay. What was your best birthday present? Can you think of something? Anything pop out? Best birthday present? How about worst birthday present? You're speechless.
No, well,
First time ever.
On each of those, it's weird because a lot of this stuff was, it was the middle of summer or the beginning, like right at the end of school.
Yeah.
Right. So I was way more
Boring.
jacked up about that than, it was like, cool. Yeah, it's your birthday.
Did anybody come to your party or were they too busy camping?
No, I remember I had a birthday present where I got a knee board, for water skiing. And that was.
Well, that's a good way to finish off your knees.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I wonder what happened. And that was a pretty cool birthday though. I went to some function at the lake and came home and got a got a ticket for running a stop sign. Not
on your knee board, I hope.
No.
That would have been a sight.
That was an interesting day. Honestly, the best birthday present was when I turned 40 and we did the 10 sports in one day for the first time. It wasn't really a present like a thing, but that experience was.
And the party we had was pretty good.
Oh man, the party we had. And the 50th birthday party was ridiculous where we had live band.
Oh, right. That was your 50th.
That would be
it seems like so long ago.
That would be like the best present was for sure live music at my. But that would be it.
That would be good. So I guess I was going to say, what's your best birthday experience or memory? Would that be the 50th birthday party with the band?
Yeah, that or probably my 40th, just because that was so weird and it was super uncertain. Like we had no idea if we could pull off the 10 sports in one day because logistically it was kind of
I forgot that was on your birthday.
Yeah, and it was it was actually on my birthday. So that was.
So why don't you tell everybody what sports you did on the one day?
So that was 18 years ago. So.
And I did join you for I think I did 8 of the 10 and had to.
Not that year.
No, not that year. I did not.
So we did. Let me see. You
started with windsurfing.
Started with windsurfing in the gorge.
And you went up to Mount Hood. And
no. Windsurfing first, then and then I ran 5 miles.
And then did you bike there?
Then the next because it was all in 24 hours. And then the next morning,
did you bicycle?
I rode a bike 15 miles.
Then we went to Mount Hood.
Then we went to Mount Hood, and I skied and snowboarded.
Okay.
And then
you got a plane ride to.
Nope. Then we drove to Blue Lake, which is out in Troutdale.
Oh, correct.
Oregon. And I barefoot water skied, wakeboarded, and water skied.
That's 8. Then where did you parachute in?
Then we skydived first. Skydived first, then went to Blue Lake. And then from Blue Lake, we went to the Troutdale Airport and flew to the Oregon dunes and rode dirt bikes in the sand for I don't know how long. Until at that point, until I got tired.
And there you go.
And that was the 10. So that was cool.
Used to be our everyday vacation life. And now you know why I'm injured and getting all this surgery. So there you go. Okay. Well, when you were a kid, was your favorite birthday game? Do you remember playing games when you were a kid? Did you not play birthday games? What's your favorite birthday game?
Birthday game?
Yeah, like pin the tail and the donkey.
We didn't do that stuff.
Or musical chairs.
Well, I always got the bumps, which I hated. That was stupid because I was so little.
Okay, that's not a game. You didn't. Okay, so forget it.
We didn't play birthday games.
You didn't?
No, we're freaking rich. We didn't do that stuff.
All right. So I was going to ask.
Play games. I don't play games. We sell games to poor people. I don't know.
Would you rather have the birthday bumps or the birthday spanking? Did you get the birthday spanking?
No. Like, what kind of pervert place did you come from?
The birthday spanking. You would get as many spankings on your ass as you were old. That's a lot of spankings.
Did you have your birthday party at Jeffrey Epstein's island or something? Like, what the hell is this? Never even heard of this before. Like, who am I married to?
I guess we have a lot of
birthday spanking.
A lot to talk about after the show. Yes, birthday spankings for real.
Wow, yeah, epic ritual violence in northern Canada. Here you go, kids.
It wasn't violent. It was quite nice.
Wow.
Depends on who was doing the spanking.
Did you have a safe word?
I declined to comment on that. Okay.
Like, what the hell is that?
What's your favorite birthday dinner?
Let's see. Like of a particular time.
Oh wait, stop.
Like
Let's go.
Very specifically,
stop
or
right
food.
There. Okay, wait. Let's explain the bumps. We just blew past that, and people are going, I'm not surprised you all haven't commented on here. All 19 of you watching. No one asked what the bumps are. Okay, now Mitch will know because he's Canadian. Explain what the bumps are.
Somebody grabs your feet and somebody grabs your hands, and they go
Ankles and wrists.
Throw you up in the air, and then
You become a human hammock, literally.
Bounce you on your sacrum.
Ass. Sacrum, I hope not.
And they hit you into the ground.
And then they whip you up in the air.
And hit you back into the ground the number of times that it's your birthday.
So you're getting a birthday spanking, basically.
From the ground.
From the ground. But
Canada sucks, man. Like, seriously, it's just ritual violence.
You know who had it worse, though, was the people hanging on to your poor ass body, because that was hard work. Dave, I thought it was the Canadian version of this. Yes, pretty much. Only your ass is getting whacked into the ground. And usually you would get tossed in the air and people are getting tired. So they would literally throw you like a cheerleader, like the flyer. And you hoped they caught you on the way down.
Yes, this would, like now, like at my age now, it would be an entire episode. It would be an entire session of CrossFit.
It was pretty much like that trust game you play, you know, and that corporations do it where you have to fall backwards and they're supposed to catch you. I hated the bumps anyways. All right, let's move on. Favorite birthday dinner? What would you
like? A particular time?
No. It can be, but if you're going out to eat and someone said, "It's your birthday. What do you want to eat?"
Anything? Yeah.
I'm laughing. Yeah, we thought birthday spankings were weird.
They're all weird. No, I think the bumps are like some Eskimo thing, like, you know, where they have the seal skin or whatever, and they throw people up in the air.
I thought it was like an Indian thing, because didn't they actually have like
Native American for our politically incorrect people?
They call themselves Indian, so I think I can too. Just like those song people that sing at the N-word call themselves in the songs the N-word. Can I call them that too? No.
You can try. It will end poorly.
I think it did. I'll have to look up their origination of bumps. That would be fun. I'll look it up. Okay, so back to the dinner.
Yeah, it was probably the Marquis de Sade.
I'm thinking of those, when they would take skins and dry them and hang them up on racks.
Yes.
It's kind of what you're like when you're getting the bumps.
Yeah, that's good.
So favorite food?
Throw him in the Iron Maiden. Steaks. This summer.
That's it.
Yes. So we had one meal where we went out and went to the highest end restaurant in Saskatoon, and I had I believe it was Chateaubriand for my 16th birthday.
Okay. So favorite birthday dessert?
I don't eat dessert. Chocolate cake and vanilla ice cream, I guess.
Because I was just about to ask you, cake or ice cream. So in Canada, when I was a kid, did you have cake and then you had Jell-O and ice cream on the side? I guess the poor people.
Jell-O?
Jell-O. We had Jell-O.
I wasn't having my birthday party at a memory care center.
I was about to ask, Jell-O, would you rather have cake? Because we'd either have cake or Jell-O and ice cream, because that's all we.
Jell-O and ice cream combined?
Yeah, you have the Jell-O, and I got to pick the Jell-O flavor because we couldn't afford cake.
Let them eat cake. So do you have like a bowl of cat food?
Shut up!
And then Jell-O and ice cream.
Fried spam.
But it's fancy feast. It's your birthday.
Okay, my favorite.
Put the candle in the fancy feast.
I was going to ask if you wanted, if you like the orange or the cherry or the strawberry Jell-O. You never had Jell-O?
I had Jell-O.
Ice cream.
I hated Jell-O. Although we had Jell-O once at this family camp I was at, and it was all the teenagers at one table. And we got laughing so hard. It was the best. It was the most epic thing I've ever seen happen with Jell-O. This kid took this mouthful of Jell-O and started laughing really hard, and he shot a globule.
A shot out of his nose.
A globule of red cherry Jell-O out of his nose. It was just like, and then it just went. It just kind of kept growing and growing, and then it's like, bloop.
Oh, that's disgusting.
And then
I
we
thought
laughed
you were going to say he shot it out like a Jell-O shot.
No, he did not, but it was awesome.
Someone else I know had some Jell-O shots recently this last week, and it wasn't us, someone else, right? And there was enough to go around, but funny, I never got to taste one of those Jell-O shots. Would have thrown me back into my childhood memories, but I guess I'll only have to.
Yes, of my fancy feast.
Stop. Okay. You can share your fancy feast story another time.
Yes. I think we already have.
Well, okay. So forget the Jell-O and ice cream. Money cake or piñata?
No, we never had pinatas.
Did you have a money cake?
Oh, yeah. We had money cake all the time.
Yeah. Money cake is maybe we should tell them what money cake is. Is that a Canadian thing? Money cake? I think it's a British thing. So if you weren't careful, you would be getting a filling or a crown
it's
for your
a
birthday.
British thing. Putting money in cake is a British thing because their teeth are completely destroyed anyway. So it doesn't matter if you chew money. It wouldn't be a good thing in America because all the kids have $4,000 worth of braces and don't want to screw their teeth up and have to pay more money for the money cake.
So would take whoever's making the cake between the two sheet cake, well, not sheet cakes, but the 8-inch round, because that was the tradition. You would take money and you wrap it up in wax paper, stick it in there, and then you put the frosting or the filling. What kind of filling did your mom put in your cake? We always had jam. You probably had rich, expensive fondant.
No, we had caviar.
Yeah, I knew it.
We had like, Betty Crocker's.
And you probably had dollar bills in yours, and I had pennies. Anyway,
we had the dollar bill shooter like at the strip club.
Well, if you were the birthday person, they would mark it. They would literally mark where the quarter was because everybody else got the pennies and shit. And
well, but you got to think of this. I mean, as many kids that I have seen that have swallowed coins, putting coins in food is really about the stupidest thing you could come up with.
I'm only laughing because you're right, but we did it. Just like we didn't ride with seatbelts.
Oh, it's Halloween. Let's put the razor blades in the apples, the candy apples and the razor blades and needles. It will be delightful.
I was just going to say. Did you have those? No.
It's just nuts.
Okay.
That is crazy.
Look at this. I found it.
Let's put money in food and not paper money. Coins. Things that can actually kill you.
Did you ever swallow it?
A coin?
Yeah.
No,
I didn't either, but I did almost bite my teeth off. We didn't have piñatas. I never heard of a piñata till we moved to the U.S. because the ethnicity up there is so different.
It's a long walk from Tijuana to Saskatoon. It's I have to cross two borders. I don't want to cross two borders. Just one border enough.
So the birthday bumps originated.
Not those border.
Stop.
Let's offend Canadians, Americans, and Mexicans. We're taking care of all of. Next week we move to Latin America, where we offend Latin America. Next week let's offend Guatemala.
You can make fun of my people. I don't mind. That's British. So the birthday bumps apparently originated in Ireland, but it doesn't say. I don't know. I'll have to read.
It's always
deep reading to find out why.
Ginger's fault.
They're probably drunk at the time.
In Ireland? No, there's no drunkenness in Ireland.
Never. Okay, here's some trivia for you. Ready? What country did the practice of holding birthday parties for children begin?
I don't. Probably like Denmark or something like that. Let's just go with a Scandinavian country just for giggles.
No, like all good celebrations, Germany.
Really?
Yeah. In the 19th century, apparently. I don't know the whole history on it.
So the 1800s. Interesting. So, because in 1900, even in the United States, 30% of all deaths were children 5 years old and under. So if you had a kid that was 6, it was time to party.
Yeah. Right.
Seriously. It's
speaking of birthdays, we have to. Oh gosh. So we met someone in the airport that we haven't seen in a while. Family friend's daughter was coming back to visit. And it was super funny because they have a family that has a lot of children. Is it 11?
I lost count.
Did you deliver the last one?
I did.
So she told us that and she is now, I think, close to 30, for many years of her life, thought her birthday was on the wrong day, a different day. And then her parents corrected her and they said, no, it's really not. You think it's the 3rd of whatever month. It's really the 4th. And she's like, oh. So then she felt terrible because it wasn't the 3rd. It was the 4th. And then she went to the DMV to get her driver's license and they were all wrong. None of them remembered her birthday. Apparently the DMV corrected. So can you imagine being 16 and you're like, I didn't know my birthday and my parents got it wrong too? Because there's so many kids.
Well, yeah, but if you've got 11 kids, how do you expect it?
Anyway, that was funny, but she just laughed it off. And actually we met her parents at the airport when they came to pick her up, but they were all laughing about it. I think it was pretty funny anyways.
Well, you haven't got our anniversary right in 31 years.
You know what? I'm never going to hear the end of that.
No, never.
Never. I got it right this year.
Yeah, mostly.
I think it's the 24th, right?
It's the 24th.
Okay. Here's the excuse. I was 25 and he was 26. And so I couldn't remember because it's 24, 25, 26. And I don't know. I thought it was anyway, nobody cares. Let's on to the next trivia question. All right, Tim. In what decade did hospitals start taking footprints of newborns?
In what decade?
Yeah.
50s.
No, the 60s.
Oh, that was my next guess.
Yeah. What religion does not observe birthdays because of a belief that doing so would displease God?
Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, I knew you would know that. Anything to do with religion trivia, he knows it. Because I played enough Trivial Pursuit with this guy. Okay. In what country did the tradition of putting candles on birthday cakes begin? Think about it. Candles, fire. No, I'm kidding. I'm messing with you. Just forget all that. Anybody out there now? Let's see if our peanut gallery knows. What country did the tradition of putting candles on birthday cakes begin?
Russia.
Oh, that's a good. How come you thought of Russia? What made you think of that?
Because they're all drunk. Let's burn the cake.
Wonder what countries have a lot of wax. Anyway, the answer is Greece. I don't know. Don't know why. The tradition of blowing out a candle on a birthday cake began as a way to ask the gods to provide protection for the person celebrating a birthday. So,
yeah.
Lariat said Sweden. Good guess.
Make a wish.
True. That's the first Make-A-Wish Foundation. In what culture were the first birthday cakes baked?
Oh, that's got to be Germany.
That,
or Austria.
You got to think of a country that's all into pastries and so forth, right? Birthday cakes.
Danish. Denmark then.
No, it's actually Greece again.
Oh, they're just partying.
No, I'm sorry. I got it wrong. Ancient Rome. It's ancient Rome. How many minutes, here you go, pass between each of a person's birthdays? Not counting leap years. Forget that. Just minutes. There was seconds. Like seconds is silly. Can you think of how many minutes go from one birthday to the next?
Well,
like sands of the hourglass, so are the days of our lives. While he's calculating in his head like a savant.
It's like a million. It's close to a million.
Oh, well, you're kind of on the right track. No, 525,600. And on that note, we have 525,000 more until your next birthday. Maybe. Or not quite. 525,600.
Isn't there a song?
550.
Isn't there a song that does it?
That's beer. That's beer.
No. There's a song. There's a song.
That's 100 bottles of beer on the wall.
No,
that's an Irish song.
No. There's a song.
100 bottles of beer on the wall. 100 bottles of beer.
I'm looking it up.
Take one down. Pass it around. He's looking it up. We could be here a long time. That was all the trivia I had for you. In the meantime, I don't know. You want me to share my favorite birthday celebration? No. I'm looking some stuff up. Mm-hmm. I think my favorite birthday was when I ran my very first half marathon.
That was a super fun day.
We did it in Victoria, Canada. It was cold and damp and rainy, but it was a goal of mine to run a half marathon at the time. And you were there to support me. And that's a big fun memory for me. So Victoria Marathon, half marathon, and they have a 10K. So if anybody ever has goals, look that one up. It's a really good one. And then, I don't know what else, but,
yes. I'm right.
What's that? You found it?
Yep. There's a song. It's called Seasons of Love.
Oh, and it goes, are we going to play that as we say
525,600 minutes.
Song. Yes.
500.
Jonathan Larson.
I think it's from Rent.
Yes, it is it's one of those shows. You're right. don't. Yeah, that now I'm going to sing that all night long.
Yeah,
All right, everybody.
It will be a brain cancer. So here we go.
So please don't play that because, I want to send people off on a good note. What are we doing this week on the podcast? Well, we have a new podcast episode coming out on Wednesdays. If you haven't heard it already, it dropped today. It's called Truth Bombs, 10 minutes or so, where we share a little inspiration and deep thoughts like Jack Handy and Tim's deep thoughts came out. So
yeah, today's was called The Power of Courage, and we got a ton of positive feedback already.
So it's my turn next week. We are doing those weekly on Wednesdays to get you through the week. Tomorrow's podcast, as our usual interview, is coming out where we have Dr. Stephanie Pearson, a previous OBGYN who got injured on the job, tragically while doing a delivery, and ended up with a debilitating injury that left her disabled and unable to practice OBGYN and really do any surgery. And she is, I'd say instead of retired from medicine, rewired her career and took what she learned and is now an insurance agent providing disability insurance and now life insurance to physicians. But her story is powerful and really talks about the importance of disability insurance for everybody, not just physicians, and how 1 in 4 people will become disabled in the workforce. And we all think about life insurance, but not disability. So that's a great story and should spark you into listening to that, but also thinking about that. So that's coming out tomorrow. And if you haven't checked out our newsletter.
It's great. Her company, Pearson Rabbits, outstanding. Check them out. If you
they're also a new sponsor of ours. So watch for them in the future. If you didn't sign up for our newsletter, you missed some fun stuff because the newsletter came out on Monday again, Truth Serum, where we've got a lot of fun pics from our trip. And, you get to see the tattoo of the trip. Who got the tattoo? Well, you can answer below and see who got another tattoo or not. And like I said, sign up for that newsletter really fast this week and you'll see. And we talk a little bit about how wine is actually protective. We talked about it on our podcast last week. Wednesday live streams are always here. And anything else am I missing?
No, I don't think so.
No. So that's about it. Thank you for watching. As always, feel free to comment. We're always ready to read your comments on our live streams. We love everybody that follows us. Your shout outs matter, and we featured the shout outs on the podcast episodes now and in the newsletter, and we appreciate everybody writing to us. So any suggestions, anybody want to sponsor our show, reach out. We will get back to you. Any last words, birthday boy?
Nope.
All right, everybody. See you next time. Now, a final word from our sponsor. At Pearson Rabbits, they understand that life can change in an instant. It's hard to imagine that a sudden illness, injury, or catastrophic event could put you and your family in a devastating financial situation. Physician-founded and physician-focused, Pearson Rabbits builds human connections before they create quotes. Visit www.pearsonrabbits.com today and embark on a journey of safeguarding your future.
It's no secret that medicine is a bit uptight. That's why Tim and I created BS Free MD, to mix things up a little and have fun in the process. Besides, we are having these exact same discussions all the time, so we thought we might as well invite everyone to the party. If you really like us, you can get plenty more and maybe see one of Tim's cool tattoos on our Instagram or Facebook pages at BS Free MD. See you next time.
Well, we try to keep BS Free MD as raw and real as possible. We can't be held responsible for any medical decisions or discussions had as a result of what you've heard on the show. We know, bummer. But the truth is, we really do care about your questions. So feel free to reach out to us by email at doc@bsfreemd.com.